Alright, so greetings everyone. Let's just make sure that the sound quality is good enough and we will start in 1 minute. Yeah. Hey guys. Hey, stake profit. Yeah, we will talk about this stop loss today as well. So no worries, we will cover this topic. Let's just wait for the rest to join the room, as always, and we will start straight away. Yeah, I just reloaded my internet connection just to make sure that everything is smooth. FFA Pro, yeah, I see your question. Well, you're saying that we ignore trading section. Well, I disagree here, because pretty much on all webcasts we more or less cover this topic, and you can even find previous webcasts that just focus on trading tips and strategies you can come up with on the Bitsgap. So usually the approach is following. I show you my current strategies. I explain the logic behind each strategy and why I think that this strategy is suitable for the current market conditions, why this one is not relevant anymore, what should be changed, and all of that. So today we will talk about how to implement the most effective strategies in automated trading, how to analyze the price movements of your favorite assets, and basically what are the tools that you can use for your decision making, and also how can you effectively diversify your trading strategies, because in crypto the best way to achieve diversification is through having by having different strategies deployed simultaneously. So let's say you have $1,000 and this $1,000 must be split. A portion goes to automated trading, because automated trading has its own benefits, pros and cons. Another portion goes to smart trading, which is about manual trade mode, where let's say you can enter the market with limit buy order. You can have multiple take profits. So you are the one who decides at which price level or profit range to exit the market, and that way you can have some pre-estimates of your potential return, as well as the potential risk you take for this trade, for this particular trade. So that's what I call a smart trade, which is a different strategy from automated trading. And the third strategy is basically HODLing. Okay, you have something in your portfolio. Let's say in my case I HODL VU token, and if you can find some ways of not just holding it but getting more, basically accumulating more of the VU token, like for example on Binance you can have locked DeFi staking and some other things you can use as a kind of a semi-passive strategies just to accumulate more coins in your HODL portfolio. But in general, HODL strategy is the most rewarding one, because it requires patience, time, and eventually it brings you the biggest return on investment eventually. Okay, but that's the hardest one, to be honest. Well, it might seem like the simplest one, but in reality it's not. It's basically the opposite. It's the hardest one, because you must be patient enough to wait until the moment when you can capitalize on these huge returns you can have from HODL strategy. So let's go back to my bots. And I think if I open BNB chart, I have this thing prepared for you in advance. Yes, usually that's the thing I use. So as of the way, like how to stay profitable most of the time, even when the market is falling. So there are two things required. The first one is diversification by strategies, automation, smart trade, and HODL. And the second thing is market timing. So you need to monitor your strategies, and whenever the market conditions are changing, you need to flip some strategies that you have. So for example, I have some strategies here right now, and notice that I have SBOT strategies. So for those of you who don't know, SBOT is the ultimate solution on Bitsgap if you want to achieve the highest return on a sideways market, which moves like that, or if the market is falling, but you anticipate the bounce off like this. This is when the SBOT strategy is the best one because of its investment distribution logic, okay? The classic bot, and I have now 3 strategies for the classic bot. That's 1 inch to USDT, Uni, and the synthetics protocol trading to USDT. So for these 3 coins, I have classic bot because I know that the classic bot is the ultimate solution for a rising market. Exactly what you see now on the SNX, for example. You can see that the market is rising, okay? So classic will bring you the most returns, and you don't have to blindly trust me. You can always back test different strategies and compare them with each other to see whether or not that's true. So for SNX, Uni, and 1 inch, I have the classic bot because I feel that the value of these coins is undervalued and that they have the potential to go higher. Okay, that's based on my fundamental research and some due diligence that I conducted. As of the rest 6 strategies I have, and you can see that some of them been present for like 3 months already. It's, for example, for Bitcoin, quick recap. I opened this strategy back then the price of Bitcoin was falling, and you can see all these circles, green and red circles. That's the bot activity. So I managed to capture this whole movement, and this is where my SBOT played out well, and that's the result. So that was the case to basically buy the dip. So using the SBOT strategies to buy the dip is like the best solution you can have on Bitsgap as of today. But if you look at the Bitcoin right now, and actually I should have done it before, but I decided to leave it like that just so that I could show you the mistake you should avoid. So you see the price was moving sideways during this prolonged period of the last 3 months, but eventually it broke the upper limit, and now it makes sense to flip this strategy to the classic bot, because we know that the classic bot brings you more returns on a rising market, and the market has pretty much proven to us that it's like the bullish momentum is solid enough, and that's why the price is still staying above the 41k, which is a good sign of a bullishness. Okay, so in terms of risk to return narrative, it really makes sense to close this strategy for me and instead launch it with new configuration, but on the classic bot, because this would bring me more return if the price continues the rally. So that's the thing, but I left it like this just for the sole purpose of showing you what is the thing you can do when you see the market changing the momentum. So it was sideways, it broke the upper limit, the resistance line, it stayed above this resistance for quite a long time, which is kind of a confident, and it brings enough confidence that the bullishness is solid, so you can flip the strategy to the classic bot. Okay, so that's the logic. The same would be applied to okay, not for 0x yet, but maybe for Litecoin, and not even for the Litecoin, I would say. But yeah, well, the best example would be Bitcoin, the one that I should flip to the classic bot. Okay, so as you can see now, you have this volume column, which is fluctuating parameter, because before that you could only see the initial investment to each strategy, but right now it shows me the value of this whole position. So it takes into account the value of current funds, of like the base currency that I have right now in this strategy. So that's the amount of 1 inches that the bot has purchased, and the amount of USDT in this strategy, which is the pending orders to be used to buy more inches in case if the price of 1 inch falls. Okay, so the value of this whole portfolio here is exactly $787. Okay, so it's below the value with which I started this story. It was at around 800 when I launched it, so I'm in loss here right now. Okay, but thanks to the bot, it still can make me money on this falling market. Let's switch to 1 inch. So you see it's kind of falling, even though there were some minor swings higher on which the bot managed to capitalize, and that's why you can see these red circles that represent sell orders executed. But in general, the price is falling, and that's why the value is depreciating. But as the bot still makes some money, it pretty much offsets the negative value change of this falling market. I mean, if not the bot, then the investment change would be not minus 1.54, but I guess it would be around minus 1.8 or something. So the loss would be bigger. But thanks to the bot, it offsets this loss that I am bearing now. So that's pretty much the logic you use. You just need to monitor the activity of your bots. And whenever the market conditions are changing, you need to consider flipping your strategy to a better one, which in my case is from SBot to classic bot for the rising market. Okay, and of course the opposite logic is that if you see the market starts to fall and you feel like it's gonna reach the support line pretty much soon, and it's gonna stay in this area for quite a while, it's gonna trade in the sideways market, then you can close your classic bot and you can switch to the SBot instead, because we know that with the SBot you can make more money on the sideways market, you can accumulate more of the base currency, and that way when the price reverts back again and it will start to rally back, this is when you will capitalize a lot. So that's one part of the story, automation. In my case, that's 50% of allocation. Let's say your total balance is $1,000. So in my case, 50% goes to automation. So all the strategies you see here, it's more or less around 50% of my balance on this account. But as of now, it's actually lower because I haven't made some changes for quite a while, because now I think I have more in HODL, like you see Ethereum HODL, Bitcoin HODL, BNB 0x, Quantum. Also I have Solana, right now, but it's locked in DeFi staking. It brings me around 16% annually, something. Yeah, which is good for your HODL strategy accumulation. And also you can see that the price of Solana has skyrocketed a lot. So, well, basically this whole DeFi locked staking that I have, it plays well for me. So, yeah, 50% approximately to automation. Why 50%? It's pretty much the biggest allocation, because in automated mode, everything is under control of the bot. Okay, you know that each single day it's gonna bring you money, regardless of the market direction, whether the price is falling, moving sideways, or rising. The bot will find this micro opportunities on these price swings to always buy low and sell high later. So that's the logic of the bot, and that's why in my case there's 50% of the allocation, because I mostly care about the realized return. Okay, so the bot profit you see here is your realized return. That's something which goes directly to your balance. Okay, and that's the only thing we care about when it comes to trading and well, investing. Pretty much we want to have some money accumulated on our balance. So that's why realized return is the thing I'm looking for, and that's the it's achievable with automated bots because they make you money on a daily basis. Of course, the major metric here is the change, because no matter if your bot made 1%, 10% of the return, if your change is negative, then the whole investment is in the negative zone. It's in a loss pretty much. But in the mid-term perspective, and sometimes even in the short-term perspective, still using automated bots is justified, and it's an optimal solution, especially for those of you who don't want to spend hours daily in front of your monitor scanning the market, looking for best entry prices and exit prices. You just have your bot, it buys low, sells high, makes you money. And for example, you see 1 inch here. If not the bot, then my loss would be bigger. So that's the biggest advantage of automated bots, that they make you money daily, and this money pretty much offsets the negative value change in case of a falling market. Okay, so that's the thing. I think I saw some comments on the YouTube saying that, okay, your bot made me 20%. Okay, so your bot made you 20%. But if you would have hold this coin instead, you would have more money. Which is true, but the logic here is that you only make money when you realize the return, when you close the trade, when you sell it, right? So comparing unrealized return in HODL strategies with realized returns in bot strategies is a different story. You just can't compare it. But even though we still have this metric here, just for you to kind of have some estimates whether or not your strategy with automated bots is beneficial or not. So for example, for .USDT here, if I just had 25 on my balance as of the beginning of this trade, like as when I launched it, if I would have this on my balance the whole time, I would make $237. But because I allocated these funds to my bot, that's why due to the fluctuations and everything, my profit is only 100 USDT. So yeah, one can say that HODL would bring you more returns because that's $200 compared with $100 made by the bot. And that's true. but it's only true if you realize these returns. If you sell it at this exact price, that's like, and you never know this highest price, okay? You can predict the direction of the market, but you can never predict the exact price at which, let's say, BNB is gonna trade tomorrow. Maybe here before it falls, okay? Who knows, right? You can just anticipate. And that's why automated bots, even though sometimes compared with the HODL strategy, they bring you less returns, but still they are very efficient in a way that these returns are realized. And that's the only thing we care about in trading, okay? So let's check what else we have here. Apart from automated strategies, where is the... I think I just accidentally deleted all this thing we had on the chart. Let's go back real quick to it. Nah, I think I lost it. So let's make a new one. So total balance 100%, automation, my ratio is 50%. What are the pros? So the pros is that it's fully automated, daily returns, and it can offset market plunge. That's the biggest advantage of automation, okay? The second one is smart trading. In my case, that's usually around 20%, well, according to my recent estimates. So in smart trading, you go here, trading section, and you can use this witty, clever, and sometimes very gripping tools like limit buy, limit sell, using multiple take profits and stop loss, because by plotting multiple take profits, that way you diversify the risk, you increase the chances that the bot will, sorry, that this strategy will bring you money. Because let's say you buy 1 inch right now at the current price of 2.88, and you set only one take profit here at the price of $4. So the price range is around what? 42%. Okay, yeah, 43%. So you need to wait for the price to rise by 43% until this strategy executes a sell order, basically your take profit. And that's a high risk, because the chances of the price skyrocketing to this price level in terms of risk to return ratio is I mean, chances are kind of void. So instead of that, it really makes sense to split the take profit by multiple orders, and that way, step by step, you exit the market and you realize these returns, okay? So for example, 17% of the growth, well, maybe you can sell 30% of your entire position here. From the risk to return standpoint, it really makes sense. That way, you secure your returns. But you don't sell everything. You still have 70% of your entire position. So let's say it rises by another 12%. So here, again, maybe you can sell this time 40%. So you're left with what? 30% until the next target. So the next target is here, 9%. So you're left with 30%. So that's the split you can have. And thanks to the layout we've built and all the calculations that we have built in here, you can pre-estimate this return. So for example, I buy at this price, I buy 25%, and that's exactly $818. Okay, the first one was where 3.38. Let's set it 3.38. That's exactly 17%. Okay, and let's sell 30% as we have here on the chart. Another, like the second take profit is here, 3.79. Let's set it. And the last one is at 4.143. Okay, so 3 take profit levels. And you can see exactly the money you can make. That's $163. But it's not enough. Now we need to talk about the stop loss. So you look at the chart, and depending on your approach, depending on your knowledge and skills, you will set your stop loss according to your logic. So in my case, well, usually I look into the price action and also use this tool as the, let's switch to Bitcoin, and let's use this one that I use. That's the volume profile. So usually I look into support and resistance lines, okay, and usually you will see that the biggest volume traded exactly corresponds to these levels of support and resistance lines. So in my case, I would set my stop loss below a certain key support level. So that's 1 inch to USDT. Unfortunately, as of now, there is no fixed volume profile tool here on Bitsgap, but it will be implemented. But as of now, you can use it for free here. So let's go back to 1 inch. Yeah, it was 1 inch, not injective protocol, but it was 1 inch to USDT. Yeah, so let's use the volume profile here. I think I'm gonna use 1 inch USDT. It's 4 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, but let's check over here. Okay, so it kind of tells me that the support line is around this area. Boom. And also the next one is around this price level. So which pretty much exactly corresponds to this volume profile, biggest one over here and biggest one over here. Okay, so it's kind of a testing the support, that's the local support line, and also testing these moving averages. Okay, so if you are a short-term trader, then and you feel like you don't want to hold on to this trade for a long time, then most likely you will set your stop loss around this area, which is below the current support line. Okay, so that way you can see your potential loss estimate, which is $50. So if you enter this trade with this smart trade mode, with this configuration, you risk $50 for the reward of $163. Okay, so in that case, your return to risk ratio is around 3. So the coefficient is around 3. If you divide the potential profit by the risk you set, then for each dollar that you risk, you make $3. And that's a justified configuration. Whenever your potential return is by, well, in my case, by at least 2 times bigger than the risk, or even more, then this is the time for you to enter the market. If you look at the market and you are confused and you see that no way you can afford having stop loss that close to your entry price, which is like, in my case, that's 6%. Okay, but instead, according to your parameters, you would set your stop loss, let's say around here. Let's say you trade not based on the support and resistance lines, but you trade based on just kind of a percentage watermark. Let's say your stop loss is always 10%. Okay, so if you see that this is not a justified risk to your potential return, then you should rather avoid this trade and look for another one. Well, in my case, even having this stop loss by 10% lower of my entry price still justified, because I risk $81 for the reward of 163. Okay, that's why it's always tricky about smart trade mode, and that's why I only allocate around 20% here, because of the things you always need to take into account. You need to take into account the stop loss. Because of that depends your risk to return ratio, return ratio. Yeah, and you always need to monitor the market. Sometimes you need to maybe kind of intervene into the trade, like by manually selling some volume, and instead of sticking with your multiple take profits. Sometimes you can change your take profits depending on market conditions. So lots of things to be taken into account every single day, because that's like what you would expect from the smart trade mode, because that's the manual trade mode. You do all these things manually, and that's why you monitor it on your own. So automation here is kind of a 50-50 split. 50 by manual mode and 50 automation. By manual I mean your projections and your idea of the market and your anticipations and everything, which eventually affect the position of your take profits. But these take profits, in any case, they will be automatically executed. Of course, there are other tools you can use, like the stop limit order, which is like you can enter the market when the certain condition is met. So for example, you want to buy, like you look at the price of 1 inch now and you feel like, well, I'm not buying this story yet. It looks like it might fall back to this level, for example. So instead of that, you think like, okay, once the price of 1 inch breaks the previous higher high, which was around here, $4, boom, that is the time when you will consider entering the market. Okay, so that way you can set your stop limit buy order 4.1, for example, and the same for the limit. So the stop price is exactly this, known as the conditional price. So as soon as the price reaches $4.1, it will place a limit buy order at the price of 4.1. Well, you can place it 4.05 or something. Okay, so that way it will plot this order on the chart, and once the price reaches it, it will trigger it, and you will buy this amount of 1 inch, and it will be added to your portfolio. So I'm telling you, in smart trade mode, there are different ways of how you can use all these market order tools and execute your strategies accordingly. That's why I tend to allocate only 20%, because of the time you need to spend on that and the risk you must take, because not every single day you can find these perfect entry prices and exit prices. Okay, sometimes entering the market is not justified in terms of risk to return ratio, so that's why in my case 50% goes to automation. And the third one is a simple HODL. Alright, so nothing here special about 30%. You just buy coin you believe in a long-term perspective, like for example Solana, Quantum in my case as well. What else? Wootrate, SNX, like the synthetics protocol. What else? Well, you can have your own portfolio. Okay, we will not talk about coins. Okay, that's not financial advice or whatsoever. It's just my portfolio. I'm fully transparent with you guys here. That's my coins that I have on my portfolio. That's why I'm sharing it with you, but I'm not telling you to buy it or sell it, whatever. So the logic is simple. You have these coins you believe in long-term perspective. You did your own due diligence on them, and you just hodl these coins. The ultimate HODL solution is to have some semi-passive strategies involved. So for example, on Binance, you have DeFi locked staking. And that way you stake your coins. Like for example, right now I have Solana staked at around 60% APY. So that way you still hodl your Solana coins, but it also brings you more Solana coins just because you participate in staking. And of course there are some pros and cons of this DeFi lock staking, and there is some kind of risk involved in that, but in general these are like solid proof strategies that have been working for quite a long time. But in terms of diversification for your HODL strategies, that makes sense. So instead of just holding coins, I mean, you can utilize them in some strategies, okay? Like you can be a kind of a validator in the delegation process of staking, for example, on Quantum. Like on Quantum, you can even stake your coins off-chain, like offline, okay? That's the thing about Quantum. And you can find some different options on other chains as well, which can be beneficial for you in terms of risk to return ratio. I mean, lots of things to explore. I mean, that's a huge market and you can come up with many strategies, but in my opinion, that's the ultimate strategy. 50% automation, 20% smart trading, and 30% HODL. And that way, this is the ultimate answer to you. How to stay profitable in the market. That's by utilizing this strategy pretty much, because automation brings you money on a daily basis. Even if the price of your coin is falling, then this bot profit, it offsets this negative value change. In smart trading, you are the god of how you use your money and what's the profit you can make and what's the risk you take. It's everything under your control. So here you can make big money, okay? And of course, in HODL, if you've been holding, for example, Solana or other coins like Ethereum, well, if you've been holding them for the last like 7 months, no, actually more, I would say, yeah, then you are now in a big return. So for example, this ROI, positive ROI, it can offset the negative ROI you might have in smart trading. Let's say you are very bad at smart trading, you are very bad at manual trading. So at least you have HODL strategy and automated strategy that will offset this negative ROI that you got from smart trading. So that's the thing about the diversification, is that one strategy can offset the negative value of other strategies. But the ultimate goal is to make sure that all of these 3 strategies in overall bring you money, okay? And in order for you to do that, you just need to learn about the market timing. You need to be patient. And you need to practice. And in order to practice, we have this tool for you, which is basically a demo trade mode. So you can switch to demo. And you can play with different strategies for free, because you have virtual money here. You see, $500,000, that's a lot. So you can play with different strategies, blah, 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 and see which one brings you the most, until you come up with your golden strategy. The same way you can do on smart trading. You have this demo mode here as well. And you can play with this virtual money until the moment you realize that you're good enough at trading. that in a midterm perspective, like let's say you've been practicing 2-3 months, usually that's pretty much enough for you to stress test your strategies. So if by the end of these 2 or 3 months you see that your automation, your smart trading, and your HODL strategies all together, they bring you money, okay, then you can now start trading with your real money. And we have these all tools for you guys. No need to rush. Just practice. Once you're satisfied with your results, once you are confident enough in your skills, then is the time for you to jump into the real trading, okay? That's like the biggest problem of the retail trading market, is that usually people hear about the crypto the first time, they rush into this market, they start buying like crazy, they do not utilize these strategies, they do not stress test strategies, they do not experiment, they do not practice the proper way in the demo mode. In my opinion, that's like the best practice you can have in terms of risk to return. So yeah, it takes time, so be patient, have your own dedication, set your plan and stick with it, okay? So no need to be greedy. You won't make all the money from the market, like you won't get all the money from the market, I mean, but your goal is to make sure that you have your own strategy and that you're satisfied with its monthly results, okay? I would say that making 20% per month, that's a lot of money, okay? And you can see that I actually have some strategies that bring this 20% per month. Okay, so guys, it's up to you really, and we are here at Bitsgap just to kind of give you all these tools for your disposal so that you could have different strategies, so that you could have this sandbox to practice for free. And once you're satisfied with the results, you can start trading with your real money and make decent returns. So yep, pretty much that's the answer of how to always stay on the market. So it's really just about the diversification and the market timing and patience, okay? It might sound simple, but it's not. It really takes time. So if you expected from this webcast some kind of a golden strategy, a golden mind strategy, which I can explain to you in 2 minutes, then, well, don't be naive. It doesn't work like that, okay? It's just that you need to be really dedicated and patient and practice with different strategies. You can grab my strategy if you like it. You can test it. If it works for you, then great. Stick with it, okay? Or make some adjustments, make some tweaks, and if you find a better solution, you can share with the rest of the community. You can share it with me, and I can present it here on the webcast, okay? I mean, you can do this. You can share your results in the comment sections. You can share your screenshots of your active bots in the Telegram community. We even have some really active users that create YouTube videos and share their live results and blah blah blah. I mean, that's cool. That's really cool. And the features that we implement, like the trading down, trading up, some other visual effects as well, that's thanks to the community to some extent, because you guys speak up, you share your things you want to see on Bitsgap. We listen to you, and we make sure that we implement the best practices proposed from the community, okay? Please explain smart trade sell once more. Which one? We have limit sell. We have market sell, which is like you just click on sell and it instantly sells. And you have the stop limit sell. So for example, let's say, look, I have Bitcoin. That's the amount that I have. And let's say I only want to sell it once the certain condition is met. Let's say, where is Bitcoin? Bitcoin USDT. So let's say I'm not satisfied at selling it at the current price of $47. Let's say I want my smart trade to place a limit buy, or sorry, a limit sell order at, let's say, 55,000 if the price breaks 51,000. Okay, so the condition here is to breach the 51k price. Boom. Once it breaks it, it will plot it will place a limit sell order at the price of 55k. So if that answers to your question, then that's great. Okay, you mean for the bot to add some extra strategies, like I want bot to not sell if stochastic is oversold. Oh yeah, well, I actually cannot share this kind of insights with you, but I can tell you that we've been thinking about this kind of indicator based things so that you could create more strategies on your own. So I am not here to tell you more about it, but I can tell you that that's something that we've been discussing. So yeah, and you can guess what I mean by that. So yeah, Jasper Parker is saying that, in all seriousness, the one thing lacking in otherwise amazing platform I'm happily paying for is something of a breakdown where it shows our progress for the monthly or weekly across all bots. So let's go back to bots real quick. So as of now, what we have is the sum bot profit, and you can see the percentage here, and also the sum total P&L. I agree with you that since that's kind of a fluctuating parameter, and you don't have here any static results, like let's say you can't see what was the result of your sum bot profit yesterday or let's say a week ago, but we are working on that. I mean, look at what we've done here so far. I mean, compared with what we had a month ago, it gives you more insights. Now you can compare your bot strategy with a simple HODL strategy. Okay, you see my SNX strategy for the bot, it plays off. I mean, it already made me $4. If I would just HODL, I would be in minus $12. Okay, so that's the things you can look at. You can see the daily profit and all of that. But I understand you want to have these overall metrics compared, and that's something we are working on right now, because that's something I on my own want to see as well. I like these metrics a lot. I mean, I really need to compare my results, but it's kind of a tricky thing, because let's say you close the bot, and when you close the bot, it will automatically deduct the value from the bot profit and the sum total P&L, because since you close this strategy, it now goes to spot history, and that's a different story. So we really need to sort all these things out to make sure that you get a relevant data on a weekly and monthly basis, like this kind of benchmarks analyzed. As of the combo bot, Binance is right now the only thing, but let's see, we might have added something today, I guess. If not, then nah. Okay, so we are working on that as well, so don't think that Binance Futures is the only one you will have for the combo bot. Yes, right now combo bot available on the Binance. Yeah, as of the mobile, there might be some confusion, but usually this whole thing can be quickly updated. So whenever you see that something is missing, you can report that. But most likely we saw these problems already. If something is not displayed, then most likely we've seen it. So that means we are working on that right now. But in any case, don't hesitate. Always report any kind of bugs or errors you might encounter when using mobile or desktop Bitsgap. Okay, so when the quote currency is BTC, is there a way to see the results in USD rather than BTC? Well, I don't have any strategy trading to BTC, but for example, let's look here, and you can see results in SNX. So you can see the profit in SNX that way. I can change it back to USDT, and I can see this return in terms of SNX as well. Okay, so it shows you now in SNX. I don't have right now any strategy trading to Bitcoin, but actually let's do it. Let's go to demo, and let's say I want to trade easy. No, actually that's a bad one. Let's say ADA to Bitcoin. I'm also not a fan of Cardano because I think it's an overvalued startup, and they are having this fake activity, blah blah blah. But anyway, it's not the case. Let's just check the strategy. Yep, wherever. Let's go. I hope I'm using demo mode. Yes, I'm in the demo mode. Let's go. So you see, you can see the results in Bitcoin. If you switch to Bitcoin, you can also see in the USD. So even though there are only two currencies involved, that's the base one ADA and the quote one BTC, you can still see results, final results in Bitcoin, in Cardano, and even in USD. Okay, so you can do this. No hating on ADA. It's just that I'm not convinced with the whole story they are selling to the market. Yeah, it's always cold-minded thing when it comes to the research, so nothing personal to Cardano whatsoever. Yeah, for example, if I had SNX trading to Bitcoin, the same way as for Cardano trading to Bitcoin, I could see results in USD. Okay, and also, by the way, here's the thing that we also made if you haven't seen it yet. So let's say your native currency is I don't know, Japanese yen. And now you can see the value of your investments in the Japanese yen, results in the Japanese yen. So it's here, you see, even values in the JPY, if that's something you want to have. Okay, also your balance in oh, I'm a millionaire in Japan. Interesting. So the same way you can do with Russian rubles, for example. You see, it changes the value, portfolio, blah blah blah. So you can play with this as you want. Yeah, well, as of the DCA bots, if you learned about the combo bot, then you know that 50% of the logic of the combo bot is based on the DCA orders. And also, yeah, well, since we are implementing this DCA order solutions, then that's something you will see in future bots as well. So that's the solution we are working on right now. I mean, you see, DCA or grid orders, it's a simple technology, but the uniqueness here and the value proposition that we bring with Bitsgap here is the way we use these grids and DCAs in investment distribution. So what is the investment distribution logic that we put into these DCAs and grids? That's the know-how and the value proposition here. And in addition to these trading up, trading down tools, you can come up with different bots. So that's the aim of Bitsgap, to make sure that we bring you the ultimate like technological solutions, okay? Not just blindly releasing DCA bot, okay? But we want to make sure that this DCA bot has a unique investment distribution logic and some other maybe additional features to make sure you guys make the most out of the market, regardless of your experience, okay? We want to make sure that if you're a newbie, then still you can use all these strategies and it's going to be easy peasy for you. So that's the ultimate solution. Make it easy peasy, understandable, and at the same time profitable. Yeah, and same for the trading down. Well, as of now, trading down, it just takes extra money from your available balance. I think I have it now for DOT. I think for DOT I have my trailing down. Oh no, I don't have it. Ah yeah, that's for Algo. That's for Algo. I have it for Algo. So thanks to the trading down, it's been buying this whole area here. Okay, so without this trading down, my trading range was around this area before, but with the trading down I decided we can, well, it looks like we're falling to that point, so I decided to use the trading down. Thanks to the trading down, I bought some extra algo, and now I expect the price to rally back, and that way I will capitalize enough. So with the trading down, it just uses your extra balance to fulfill more buy orders. But we will most likely have different variations of trailing down, so that you won't see the bot canceling out these higher sell orders. Right now it cancels one order to plot another buy below. That's because the limit of limit orders on Binance is 180. So that's why we need to cancel out some orders. Well, that's the current solution for the trading down. Anyway, you can watch previous webcasts to learn more about some different kind of strategies, and you can follow my performance since then and how I've been reacting to changing market conditions. You can also read Bitsgap blog. And in Bitsgap blog, you can find lots of valuable information, like different strategies, some kind of things you can use, like affiliate competition, blah blah blah, explanation of the combo bot. If you haven't tried the combo bot, then you can use this article to learn about it. And also some insights like, okay, different ready-made strategies for your automated bots. That's something that I came up with. You see, even my name here. Yeah, lots of things. Just check it out. It's a good one, I promise you. I've been working on that together with the team for quite a long time, so yeah, it's worth it. Also, you can go to the YouTube and see some short-term videos, and also you can go to our Telegram community and you can exchange ideas, you can discuss things with other guys trading on Bitsgap or managing their portfolios. They can share their insights. So yeah, do it. It's great. Lots of venues to explore, lots of things to learn, and lots of opportunities out there to explore and experiment with. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. I really appreciate for your time, for your patience. If you feel like you want me to answer some questions you will come up with later after this webcast, then feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or ask them in here directly, support chat, or in Telegram. Big shout out to Paul who've been with me this whole time, supporting me on this webcast and answering to your questions. So yeah, big shout out to Paul. And yeah, thanks a lot. Wish you profitable trading. Stay safe. Spend time with your family. Don't forget about it. And yeah, hope to see you next Thursday. So yeah, bye.